you got me feeling cool. Ooh, you got me feeling blue. Something about you so see-through. Something just ain't right by you. Yeah, yeah. Can I do you like I? You like I? Can I do you like I? Yellow, yellow. It hurts like yellow, yellow, yellow. You had to let me go. Heartbreaks and heartaches. We tried too many times. Heartbreaks and heartaches. We tried too many times. No one knew you like I do. Wonder why you want me by your side like all the.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Real ZB. Guys, happy Wednesday. I hope you had a lovely hump day, but at least this week it's a short week, right? So hang in there. We only have one more day to push, and then it's long weekend all the way. Anyways, guys, as you can see from the title of the video, today I'm going to be discussing the alternative professional bodies to SAICA. So in this video, I'm just going to focus on sort of like your chartered qualifications. So I'm going to speak about CIMA and I'm going to speak about ACCA. And I'm sort of going to give you like a broad overview of them. Guys, it's important to have options, okay? When you are going to decide which of these paths you're going to follow, I feel like it's very important to have as much information available about what your options could be, right? So to kick things off, let us start by talking about the CIMA/CGMA qualification. Now, CIMA stands for the Chartered Institute for Management Accountants. And at face value, you might think that this designation or this qualification only focuses on cost and management accounting, which is true to a certain extent. On top of focusing on management and cost accounting, it also gives you a full deep dive into business. So if you know that you are someone who wants to follow a career in business, or if you want to be a person who at some point in their career is in a strategic or leadership position in business, in industry, then CIMA is a good way for you to be able to do that as well. So contrary to popular belief, it's not just about the management and cost accounting, okay? But if you do think about it, your management accounting subject that you study gives you such an in-depth look into how a business is run at its core. So those are the key competencies that you'll be able to pick up on your CIMA journey. Another nice thing about CIMA is the fact that it is a globally recognized qualification or designation. So should you wish to have a career outside of South Africa, then having your CIMA or CGMA is going to make you someone who is marketable even to the international market. CIMA is competency based, much similar to SAICA. So you do have to complete a set of competencies where at the end of everything you have to be sure that you've acquired them so that you can be able to register with the professional body. And before you ask me, let us talk about the earning potential for CIMA students. So according to my research, CIMA students can expect to get an average of about 383,000 Rand per annum. And when you eventually register as a member, then you can expect anything around the range of sort of 900,000 Rand. Give or take on both sides, guys. As I've said in the video about how much CAs make, there are people who are earning well below and well above those numbers, but on average, that is the number that a CIMA student and a CIMA member can expect to be making. And especially those who have completed sort of their professional level. I'm going to speak about the levels in a minute. Who have completed their professional level and who have been members for a while, you can expect to be earning around about 1 million, 1.5 to 2 million as well. It also depends on how you market yourself as well in the job market. So the more that you are able to show people that you can add value with this professional qualification, the more money you are going to make out there. And especially if you are earning in dollars or pounds, obviously those at the moment have a lot more weight than the South African rand. So yeah, in my opinion, this is a very lucrative alternative to chartered accountancy. Okay, so let's speak about how you can actually become a CIMA registered professional or CGMA. All right, so you have to complete 4 levels when you are sort of studying towards being a CIMA. So your first level is your certificate level, your second level is operational level, your third level is your management level, and your fourth level is your strategic level. So that's like your professional level, okay? And the nice thing about this is that there are no minimum requirements in being able to access this qualification or this designation. So you don't have to study anything before you can pursue a career in CIMA. So that's a really nice thing about it. But it's always nice to have, you know, that backing of a degree or that backing of a diploma, because as much as it's easy to sort of get in and start, it's not an easy qualification to attain. Okay, so if you don't have, you know, the basics, obviously they will teach you in your certificate level your basics, your introductions and all of that stuff, but I feel like it's always nice if you've got that backing knowledge of a degree or a diploma that you've done in the past before, or a certificate that you've done in the past before. So generally everyone starts at the certificate level, but you can also get exemptions to start on a higher level based on the qualifications that you hold. So where you start your journey is purely dependent on your knowledge and your experience. So there is no one size fits all, but you can join in at any one of these levels. But that is something that is going to be dictated by the body itself when you are trying to pursue your career in CIMA. All right, so your next question might be, how do you then progress from level to level? If you're starting from the certificate level, you do your certificate level modules, complete them, and then once you're done with all of the tasks that you need to do in your certificate level, then you move on to your operational level. Now from the operational level, so that means your operational, your management and your strategic level, you are going to have to, on top of the modules that you study, you're going to have to complete 3 objective tests and then write 1 case study for each of those levels. In your certificate level, you don't have to write a case study, because at that level you're not yet expected to be able to handle a case study. But from your operational level up, you're going to have to do 3 objective tests and a case study, and you have to finish 1 level before you move on to the next level. So you can't do all the levels simultaneously. You have to do the level that you're at, complete it, move on to the next one, complete it, and move on to the next one. I can't really give you a time frame as to how long the designation takes, because again, it's dependent on which level you enter in and how quickly you get through the modules and the objective tests and the case studies. So there isn't really an indication to say how many years you can expect to attain the CIMA, but generally it is a lot shorter than the 7 to 8 years that it takes to be a CASA. So if you already know that you want a professional career, you want to be a boss lady one day or a boss man one day, you want to be in leadership, in business one day, and you don't really want to go through the CASA route, then I think CIMA is a good alternative, because it's a lot more flexible. You can enter in whenever you feel like entering in, and you you will still at the end of it have a good, reputable, professional, marketable, globally recognized qualification. So that is all about CIMA. Let's move on to ACCA. So ACCA is the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. So it's also an alternative sort of in the chartered space. Much like CIMA, it is also globally recognized. So again, you will be able to jet if things don't look too good in this country. If things are looking shaky for you, then you are able to get a very lucrative career elsewhere in the world. When it comes to CASA, CIMA, CIMA, why did I just say it like that? CIMA and ACCA, the places that are seeking after those three qualifications are mainly the UK, New Zealand, and now Canada is also joining the chat. But you can completely work in a ton of other countries. Because this is an accountancy sort of qualification, I am going to tell you what the main difference is between the ACCA and basically, you know, the CASA through SAICA. The main difference is basically when it comes to your external auditing space, where if you have an ACCA, you are unable to be, right now, you're unable to be a registered auditor. So this means that you are unable to sign off on audit reports, okay? Whereas the only people in the country who currently have this functionality to be able to be registered auditors through OBA are the CASAs. So that is your main difference, but for the most part, you are able to do the same jobs that your CAs through the SAICA are able to do. Internal auditing, you are able to do that. You are able to go into finance and banking. You are able to go into business, corporate, technical accounting, consulting, just basically all the areas that your CASAs can get into. But unfortunately, at this point in time, you are unable to be a registered auditor. But who knows what the future holds, guys? Things change every day, but as it stands right now, that is the main difference. And another main difference, I think personally, is that because ACCA originated in the UK, it's not as marketed here in South Africa. So they're not as loud in South Africa. So I feel like a lot of people know about the SAICA route because SAICA has done such a good job being able to market themselves and market their products, which is us, market the people that hold the designation. They're able to just get us in all of these spaces. They are in your face, they are everywhere. But ACCA, nobody really knows what's going on there, you know. Nobody really knows how it works. Nobody really knows what it is. Everyone just assumes that maybe it's a little bit less than SAICA, which is not true. They are basically, you know, the same thing, but from different countries. It's just that, again, you can't be an external registered auditor if you are an ACCA. But yeah, basically it's more or less the same thing. I just think here in the country, it hasn't been marketed as much, you know. A lot of people don't know about it yet, okay? So this is why I'm bringing it to the table so that, you know, you can have options. You can see what your options are and make an informed decision on which one is going to work for you. So how do you get in? Again, much like the CIMA, there isn't really like a minimum requirement or prerequisite degree that you need to acquire in order to get into ACCMA. To ACCA. So there's no huge barriers to entry when it comes to pursuing an ACCA. The structure of the levels within the ACCA why do I keep saying ACCMA? The structures and levels within the ACCA are similar to that of the CIMA qualification. So you'll start off with your foundation phase, which is similar to your certificate / or operational phase in your CIMA. And then you move on to like your applied skills, which is similar to like your operational to management level if you're doing CIMA. And then you're doing your strategic and professional skills, which is your final level, which is similar to the strategic level within CIMA. So they're very, very, very similar. It's just that in CIMA, you focus more on business and cost and management accounting. On ACCA, you focus more on your technical accounting, your tax, your auditing. Management accounting as well is thrown in there, finance, all of that stuff in there. So it's more like an accounting qualification. Much like the SAICA designation, you are required to complete articles with your ACCA or like training or work experience or whatever, but you are able to get like a remission for prior learning or prior experience kind of thing. So it also depends on your own experience, which level you go through and when you go through the levels and the exams and all of that. But it is an important component of the qualification for you to get at least 3 years of work, of ACCA work experience. You are able to do everything all at once or you can decide to do your exams first. So you'll go through the levels and do your exams, and then after you've done your exams, then you do your training. But you are able to do everything all at once. And again, I don't think there's a period of time that is prescribed for, you know, the qualification. It all depends on how you structure it, how you want to do it. You can do it everything at once, or you can do it in bits and pieces. So the timeline purely depends on you. And also, just, I know you're going to ask about earning potential. The earning potential is also quite great with the ACCA. I wouldn't bring you an option that is not lucrative, okay? Because I know you guys like to ask about what's the earning potential, and it's an important thing to know. So the earning potential is quite similar to the CIMA numbers that I shared with you. So yeah, but again, it depends on you. It depends on what you do with the qualification. Obviously, even if you are a CASA through SAICA, it is not guaranteed that you're going to be making the big bucks that they promise you when you're in high school. You need to also be engaged in your own career development. If you want to make big money, then you need to be making big moves, okay? So with all of these qualifications, of course, they hold a lot of weight. They do. They hold a lot of weight. They're super great professional qualifications. But unfortunately, just having them alone is not going to be enough for you to be making the money that you want to make. You also need to do the work, okay? You need to do the work. You need to seize every opportunity. You need to upskill yourself. You need to set yourself apart from all the other CIMAs, all the other ACCAs, all the other CASAs, in order for you to be making the big life-changing bucks. But on all three of these chartered professional qualifications, you can make a decent enough living. You can make a good living, actually, a pretty soft living. But if you're thinking about making your 3 millions, 5 million, 10 millions, then you are gonna have to put in the work, a lot of work, okay? And then lastly, let's just talk about the fees, okay? Because if you are part of a professional body, then you already know that you have to pay annual fees, right? So I'm just gonna contrast and compare what the annual fee is going to be for each professional body, right? So first up, ACCA. So you are going to pay this in pounds. It's £283 per annum for members, which equates to about 5,660 per year. Obviously, it'll go up and down depending on the exchange rate. Then for CIMAs, if you are a CIMA member, then you should expect to pay £349 every year, which equates to about 6,980 Rand. And if you are a CASA, then you should expect every year to pay about 8,006 Rand. Now, I don't know about the other qualifications, but I know that a lot of employers of CASAs will pay for that membership fee. So much like where I work, I basically pay the fee and then I get reimbursed straight away the amount that I paid for my membership fee. So in essence, I'm not paying anything, right? And I know that there's a lot of firms and a lot of employers of CASAs who do something similar to that. So they will pay for their members' membership fees. I'm not too sure if it's the same for CIMAs and ACCAs. If anyone knows, please let us know down in the comment section below. Listen, we are deep in Q2, child. So if you missed my Q2 reset, go ahead and click right here. And I'll see you next week when I talk about the different jobs you can do within banking. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.